Have you ever noticed that as you grow spiritually, some people begin to withdraw from your life? Friends, family, and even people who seem to always be by your side start to act differently, as if they can no longer keep up with you. At first, this may be painful, but what if I told you that this separation is not a punishment, but a powerful sign that you are evolving? Today you will understand why this happens and how this process can be the greatest blessing of your life. Before we continue, I want you to do 3 very important things right now. Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell. This way, you guarantee that you won't miss content that can transform your journey. And more, I want you to comment right now, "I trust the purpose." This comment is not just a sentence. It is a commitment to your evolution and a declaration that you are ready to accept whatever the universe has in store for you. Now let's discover the truth behind people's separation from their spiritual journey. Have you ever noticed that as your consciousness expands and your spiritual journey progresses, some people simply begin to disappear from your life? Friends who previously seemed inseparable become distant. Family members act strangely, and even people who have always shown affection begin to avoid your presence. This can be confusing and painful at first. You wonder if you did something wrong, if you changed too much, or if the problem lies with you. But what if I told you that this separation is not a punishment, but a clear sign that you are evolving? The truth is, when you awaken spiritually, your energy changes completely. What once resonated with you no longer makes sense, and this energetic shift creates an invisible barrier between you and those who are still stuck in old patterns. Many times, people don't even consciously realize that they are pulling away. They just feel discomfort, a feeling that something is different, and without understanding why, they prefer to distance themselves. Your growth makes those around you face their own stagnation, and this can be scary for those who are not yet ready to change. This separation can be one of the clearest signs that you are on the right path. You are not losing anyone. You are being directed to connections more aligned with your new state of consciousness. The universe never takes something away without a reason. If some people are leaving your life, it is because they have already fulfilled their role in your journey. Now you are being prepared for something bigger, for new connections, new experiences, and a new cycle of growth. If this video is making sense to you, know that great blessings are already on the way. The universe is preparing incredible changes in your life. That motorcycle of your dreams, new opportunities, and a cycle of abundance are approaching. But there is a powerful secret. Gratitude speeds up this process. If this message is touching your heart, send a "thanks a lot" with a value of up to $100 and express your gratitude to the universe. This simple act shows that you is ready to receive everything that is rightfully yours. Most people see withdrawal as a problem, as an indication that something is wrong. But what few realize is that, in many cases, this phase is necessary. When you begin to vibrate at a higher frequency, your energy becomes more intense, purer, and more transformative. This generates 2 types of reactions. Some people feel inspired and begin to follow a path similar to yours, while others simply cannot stand this new vibration and prefer to move away. This separation is not about you, but about them. Your presence can act as a mirror, reflecting to others everything that they avoid facing within themselves. Some people carry fears, insecurities, and limiting beliefs that they are not ready to let go of. When you grow spiritually, your mere existence challenges these beliefs. You become a living reminder that change is possible, and this can be extremely uncomfortable for those who are not yet ready to leave their old selves behind. So the next time someone walks away, instead of feeling sad or second-guessing yourself, remember this: the universe is just clearing your path. You were not rejected. You were protected. Not all connections we have are made to last forever. Some people are just temporary chapters in our story, And when it's time to turn the page, separation happens naturally. Instead of trying to hold on to these connections, trust the flow. What is true will always remain. The energy you carry is no longer the same. Before you could fit into certain groups, participate in the same conversations, and go to the same places without feeling strange. But as you spiritually awaken, all of this changes. What once seemed normal now sounds empty. Places that used to attract you start to seem heavy. People with whom you had deep bonds now seem to be speaking a completely different language. This change doesn't just happen within you, it radiates to the outside world. People feel this, even if unconsciously. Some will feel inspired, but many will feel uncomfortable. Their growth may be a reminder that they've been stuck in the same place for a long time, and not everyone is ready to face that truth. This is why some people may start to avoid you, change the subject when you talk about deeper things, or even criticize you for no apparent reason. If this is happening to you, don't fight it. You're not being excluded, you're being relocated. Your energy is taking you to a new level, to a circle where you will be understood and valued. Not everyone is ready to join you on this journey, and that's okay. Let the universe push away those who can no longer stay by your side, and make room for those who really make sense for your new phase. We often insist on keeping people around us who are no longer part of our path. We create bonds based on history, time, emotional comfort, but the universe doesn't work on attachment. It works on alignment. And when you grow spiritually, you begin to filter who should really stay by your side and who needs to leave. What seems like an unexpected departure is actually an energy cleansing. Some people were just draining their energy. Others were keeping you stuck in old patterns, and some simply no longer vibrate in the same tune as you. Then the universe begins to act. It makes certain people disappear, some relationships fall apart, and friendships that seemed unshakable grow apart. This can be painful at first, but over time you realize that all this happened to protect you. Stop holding on to what no longer makes sense. Trust that if something or someone left your life, it was because they needed to leave. Nothing that is truly yours will ever be lost. What is truly part of your purpose will always remain, and what is not will be removed by the universe itself, so that you can grow even more. Spiritual evolution is not for everyone. Not everyone is ready to look within, face their shadows, and seek real growth. And when you start down this path, you will inevitably come across people who simply can't handle this change. Some will walk away in silence. Others will try to pull you back to your old self. And some, unfortunately, will even try to make you doubt your own transformation. This happens because your change challenges others' comfort zones. If before you accepted everything silently, now you question it. If before it fit into any superficial conversation, now it seeks depth. If before you were concerned about the opinions of others, now you only seek your own truth. And that scares. Not because you did something wrong, but because your evolution forces those around you to ask themselves, what if I need to change too? The great truth is that you cannot carry anyone to your new level of consciousness. Everyone has their own time and their own journey. Just keep growing, knowing that those who are truly ready will find a way to keep up with you. And those who don't make it will simply be left behind. Have you ever noticed that some people seem restless when they are around you? Who, for no apparent reason, start to act differently, avoid deep conversations, or simply prefer to walk away. This happens because, after your spiritual awakening, your energy started to function like a mirror, and not everyone is ready to see their own reflection. His presence, now heightened, illuminates hidden parts within people, parts that they themselves avoid looking at. Those who are not yet ready to evolve feel an inexplicable discomfort at their side. You don't need to say anything. Their mere existence already brings to light insecurities, fears, and limiting beliefs that they do not want to face. And, as most people don't know how to deal with this feeling, the natural reaction is to walk away. Not because they hate you, not because you did something wrong, but because being around you requires a level of awareness that they haven't yet developed. It's like turning on the light in a room where someone was sleeping soundly. Some will wake up, but others will choose to close their eyes and run away. This separation may be painful at first, but you will soon realize that you are not losing anyone. You are just being protected from the energy of those who are not prepared to walk alongside you. The universe does not allow you to carry unnecessary weights on your journey. It sets you free, even if you still don't fully understand why. The sooner you accept this truth, the faster you will find people who vibrate on the same frequency as you. Think about the old version of you. Before your awakening, you probably accepted certain patterns, were part of repetitive cycles, and viewed life in a more limited way. Now, everything has changed. You realized truths that were previously hidden, expanded your consciousness, and began to seek a greater purpose. But what about the people around you? They continue to live in the same illusion, trapped in a world where change is a threat and evolution means losing control. And here's the big secret. Your presence now acts as a reflection. You have become a living reminder that transformation is possible, that life can be different, that there is something beyond the surface. And that bothers you. Not everyone wants to see their own flaws, their own fears, and their own limitations. So when they look at you, they don't just see you. They see everything they try to hide from themselves. Some will try to diminish you so they don't feel small. Others will try to convince you that your transformation is not real, and many will simply walk away because being close to you requires an internal confrontation that they are not yet prepared for. But that's not your battle. You did not come into the world to carry the weight of other people's illusions. Your role is to continue growing, letting those who are ready accompany you and others follow their own paths. Not all separation happens because people can't keep up with you. Sometimes the problem is that your light bothers. When you awaken spiritually, you begin to radiate a different, stronger, purer, more conscious energy. And this light, which should be something positive, can be seen as a threat to those who live in darkness. People trapped in negative patterns, full of envy, resentment, or hidden intentions, naturally feel threatened by your presence. Not because you did something to them, but because your energy breaks the illusion in which they live. It's as if you're unintentionally forcing them to see their own shadows, and most people would rather live in denial than face the truth. So don't be surprised if some people start to avoid you, or even worse, try to demotivate you. Some may even attack you verbally, create situations to test your patience or spread negativity about you. This is all a desperate attempt to turn off their light so they don't have to deal with their own darkness. But here's the key. Don't let it affect you. Darkness never overcomes light. Just keep shining, and whoever is truly ready to grow alongside you will find their way to you. At first, when you see people leaving your life, the feeling can be one of loss. You may think that you are being rejected, that something is wrong, or that you are doomed to be alone. But what if I told you that this separation is a divine protection, that instead of being a problem, it is a gift? Many people who were around him before his awakening did not have pure intentions. Some just sucked your energy, trapped you in destructive patterns, or simply didn't want to see you grow. The universe sees things that you cannot see. He knows who should really walk by your side and who, if they continued in your life, would end up harming you in some way. So instead of fighting this separation, learn to trust. Life never removes something for no reason. If someone got out of your way, it's because they weren't part of your destiny. And the faster you accept this truth, the faster the universe will make room for new connections that will truly strengthen you and propel you towards your purpose. Everything in life works like a cycle. For something new to arrive, something old needs to leave. But we often cling to people who no longer make sense on our journey, trying to maintain ties that are actually preventing us from growing. And that's where the wisdom of the universe comes in. He removes the wrong people to make room for the right ones. Have you ever noticed that after some time away from people, incredible things start to happen? New opportunities arise, deeper connections appear, and life begins to flow differently. This is no coincidence. It's the universe working in your favor. Many times, certain people were blocking the path without you realizing it. Some sucked your energy, others kept you stuck in the past, and some simply didn't want to see you evolve. So, if someone has recently left your life, don't see it as a loss, but as preparation. You are being adjusted to a new level of consciousness, and this requires space for the right connections to enter. What's yours will always find a way to get to you, and when you understand this, the fear of separation will transform into gratitude for the freedom it brought you. Spiritual awakening can be one of the loneliest processes a person can experience. Suddenly, you find yourself distant from old friendships. Your family no longer seems to understand you, and no matter how much you try to connect with the people around you, it seems that no one speaks the same language as you. This feeling of loneliness can be overwhelming, bringing doubts and questions. Am I going the right way? Is this journey worth continuing? But here's the truth that few say: loneliness is part of the process. This phase does not happen by chance. When you awaken spiritually, your energy undergoes a profound adjustment. The universe keeps you away from distractions, negative influences, and everything that could impede your evolution. This period of isolation is not a punishment, but a training. It is at this moment that you learn to be enough, to strengthen yourself internally, and to find answers within yourself, without depending on anyone's approval or company. Many people try to fill this void by clinging to any connection, but this only delays the process. The secret is to accept this phase and understand that it is shaping you for something much bigger. The good news is that this loneliness doesn't last forever. When you finally find yourself, when you learn to be your own source of energy and wisdom, something magical happens. The right people start to appear in your life. You stop looking for company out of need and start attracting true, deep connections aligned with your new frequency. So instead of dreading this phase, embrace it. Use this time to get to know yourself better, strengthen your mind, and prepare your spirit. Because when this period ends, you will no longer be the same. You will be someone stronger, wiser, and ready to live your mission. Every great transformation goes through a phase of loneliness. The greatest spiritual masters, the wisest leaders, and those who truly change the world have had to face moments of total isolation before finding their true purpose. This happens because there is no growth without introspection, and there is no evolution without the courage to face yourself without distractions. During this phase, many people give up. They are afraid of silence, emptiness, the absence of connections. They try to fill time with empty interactions, return to toxic relationships, or try to fit back into cycles that no longer make sense. But those who understand the purpose of this test act differently. Instead of fighting loneliness, use this moment to rebuild yourself, to understand what you really want in life, to free yourself from other people's opinions and learn to listen only to your own intuition. Loneliness is not a burden, but a rite of passage. If you are going through this, it means that the universe is preparing you for a new level of consciousness. You are being refined, molded, trained for something greater. And when this phase ends, you will realize that you were never truly alone. This was all part of your rebirth process. The isolation that once felt like a burden will now be seen as a gift, because it is in it that you found your true strength. Have you ever noticed that before a big change in your life, you go through a phase of withdrawal? People disappear, plans fall apart, opportunities seem scarce. You feel lost, without direction, without support. But what seems like a period of uncertainty and despair is actually one of the greatest blessings the universe can give you. Before elevating you, The universe isolates you. This happens because, to level up, you need to let go of what ties you to the old one. If you were surrounded by the same influences, the same habits, the same distractions, you would never be able to see what really needs to change. The universe takes away everything that can stop you from growing so that you have space to welcome the new. It's a painful process because we are taught to believe that losing is a bad thing. But in spirituality, losing doesn't always mean lack. It often means cleansing. Isolation is the moment when you discover who you really are without external interference. It's where you learn to trust your own strength without needing validation from others. Those who resist this phase, trying desperately to remain stuck in the past, end up delaying their own evolution. But whoever accepts this process with faith and courage soon realizes that this isolation was just the last step before a powerful ascension. The universe isolated you to transform you, and now it is about to elevate you to a level you never imagined. There comes a time on your spiritual journey when you simply stop insisting. Stop trying to fit into places where you don't belong. Stop seeking validation from people who can't understand you. Stop chasing connections that no longer make sense. And ironically, it is exactly at this moment that everything starts to flow naturally. When you let go of control, the universe takes over. Until then, you may have felt like you were constantly fighting against the tide, trying to hold on to friendships that were no longer in sync, forcing conversations that seemed empty, or insisting on staying in cycles that should have already ended. But when you finally accept the process, something magical happens. Life begins to align with your true energy. People who got out of your way don't come back, but that doesn't affect you anymore. Instead, new connections emerge effortlessly. Opportunities appear when you least expect them. Your peace stops depending on others and becomes something that comes from within. This is the real turning point. When you understand that you never needed to chase anything, everything that is your rightful will always come to you at the right time, and everything that's gone was never really yours. From that moment on, your life stops being a struggle and becomes a flow. You stop trying to force fate and start trusting the process. And that's when you realize that all the separation, all the loneliness, all the transformation you experienced had a purpose. Take you exactly where you're supposed to be. Those chosen always walk a different path. From the beginning, their lives seem marked by challenges that few understand, by separations that make no sense, and by moments of loneliness that test their strength. But there is one question that always arises. Will this path be lonely forever? The answer may surprise you. It's not an end, it's a new beginning. The loneliness you felt was not a punishment, but a preparation. You were removed from certain people because you were destined to find true connections, aligned with your essence. You went through this clearing so that the universe could make room for those who truly belong on your journey. And when that happens, something incredible reveals itself. You were never truly alone. Everything that felt empty was just creating space for a new cycle, for new opportunities, for new souls that vibrate at the same frequency as you. Now you no longer seek acceptance, no longer try to fit into places that don't welcome you. You walk firmly, knowing that each step you take brings you even closer to your purpose. Those who couldn't accompany you stayed behind because they weren't ready. But those who are really part of your path will appear at the exact moment, and when that happens, you will realize that it was all worth it. What seemed like loss was actually liberation. What seemed like loneliness was actually a rebirth.